here soon, you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Please go ahead and copy the link above, share it to everyone, share it to your family, your friends, and to your loved ones. We'll be starting soon. If you guys want to see Anastasia, let me know as well. We'll change the screen to her. Hey Matt from Kudos. How's it going? How's it going? Thanks so much for subscribing, you guys. Jaziel, Clara, Progressive, Patriot. Thank you so much. Here, let's go ahead and actually see if we can. Oh, by the way, you guys, here's our host, Grace. You want to say hi to YouTube? Yeah? Come on, let's say hi. I'm going to turn it on right now. Give me 1 second.
Does that help?
Huh? Give me 1 second. Give me a second, you guys. We're going to show Grace, our beautiful host. You guys have to wait until later to see Anastasia. I'm gonna go ahead and improv right now, you guys. You will see my screen here in a second. Don't judge. So let's turn on the camera. Grace, you ready?
Okay, sure.
No? Not me, you guys. I don't want to be seen. There you go.
Yeah.
Who is that? This is our
Cool.
that's our beautiful host. Oh, I just passed out, you guys.
He hasn't slept in a few days.
Yes, but here is our beautiful host, Grace. Like I said, you guys online. If you're online, you gotta have to wait until later. This is all you see. That's all you see. You can't see the full thing yet. Say hi.
Hi, thank
everyone.
you so much all for your patience. We had some technical issues, but there came Superwoman Grace and
Oh,
Super.
we did have technical issues? I didn't thought we had any.
Hey,
You guys,
how are you today? Why did you come here today when there are folk online watching? Why did you join today? Yeah.
you wanna come closer?
Yeah.
So,
Why
because the mic is on the laptop, yeah?
Why did you decide to join today?
Support you, girl.
Oh, no.
Hey, what's that?
All right, let's do it. Let's start it because everybody's just biting their fingers there, watching online. Let's show the truth.
I don't know if they can make it past the barricades and everything. The freeway was like a parking lot, so I got off.
So, you guys hear that?
This,
Um,
this
like,
marathon
there's the
happens
traffic.
today.
There is the marathon.
Everybody's running towards the venue. So, if you guys are online, run over here instead.
And everybody coming in is apologizing.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
There's,
Grace.
there's also strawberry festival.
What's your excuse? She's from Canada.
Yeah.
She's from Canada.
They
Went all the way here. What's your excuse?
bypass the traffic.
All right, you guys, we'll be starting soon. Please do me a favor again. share the link,
Can I just put wait, let me just do that.
and we'll see you again later.
Hey! Nice to see you. We got more people than we have in town.
Here's more online for.
I know, but I was telling them that nobody took care of it. That was everybody.
I appreciate your sharing of with the way.
Oh, nice to meet support.
You want me to stretch there? So we need to do it. We can maneuver it. To the food of that.
Didn't you see the website? I'm bragging right now. Forget your basically reference. Yeah.
So,
Oh my god.
so we're streaming live already?
Do I say the words?
Ready. Alright, you guys ready? We're about to start here online. Kudos, thank you so much for stopping by.
Press play.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Yes. Start until start. Yeah, we're good to go. They just make you look smarter. Yes, they do. Alright, you guys, we're starting here.
Welcome everyone from all over the globe, those here in person and those here online. Right now, we are here to honor warriors who survived abusive relationships. Right now, we expose the harsh reality of this experience that affects far too many individuals. And right now, we celebrate the courageous thrivers who push through their pain to live their best lives. I am Grace Skilgard, and I am so thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be your host for this premiere event, the Expose documentary. Expose is a 12-part series and sheds light on experiences of those who have undergone unimaginable hardships and who have emerged victorious, inspiring us all with their resilience and their strength. These survivors are true warriors of society, and I'm absolutely honored to be here in person for the premiere of the very first film. I am here getting to witness live in the stories these brave individuals share. If others in the past around the world had not been brave enough to share their journeys, I would not have been able to journey here. And I'm very much looking forward to the show, and as well as the focus group afterward. The people we will see in the film are fearless. We are giving them the recognition they deserve as we witness their journeys of overcoming adversity and emerging triumphant. Before we start the premiere, I would like to invite the founder of Barbara Lee Foundation to the microphone. For those of you who may not know, Barbara Lee Foundation is the very first foundation to support Expose multimedia and video productions, the film creators company to build connections between you and others. It is also a foundation for which the beginnings have captured my heart, my mama heart, for it sprang from the love for a mother. Let's hear it from David English.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm the founder of Margaret Lee Foundation. My name's David English, and my mom was
You make sure
just the
that
most
the
giving
YouTube is
person
working.
people, and she couldn't even put into words what her passion was until the last few days of her time here. She was over 90 years old, and she was still working at it, and it was. And it's our mission now
Oh, did you?
to create and
Don't pull it.
give
I need the laptop here.
educational opportunities to everyone and to make it enjoyable. And that was sort of how we lived. That was their um, intention. I helped my parents, William Walter English and Barbara Lee, through some of the last years of their life here. And I saw that real involvement and care and one-on-one relating is what makes the difference between surviving and thriving. When you know someone really wants you to do better and goes out of their way to see that it happens, you start to thrive. And our goal initially was to create small residential care homes, just like a regular house, and take care of people in the manner that I found really worked for my parents. And instead of just accepting care providers for their one skill of I can do this or I can pick her up, I wanted it to be like a family, and everyone had to participate and know what it's like to take care of a person. So one care provider came from the Philippines. She was already a nurse, but she didn't know how to cook. And she said, no, no, I don't cook. But my mom said, oh, yes, you'll learn to cook. And sure enough, she became the favorite cook for the parents. And all of us learning each other's great skills or mastery made a difference. And it changed my mother's attitude towards thriving. And the program was going to be to help these care providers make their own residential care facility, and they could do the same thing and have their own business instead of just being an employee at someone else's care facility. And starting out, that mission sort of changed when the house that I was going to use for that burned up in Woolsey fire. And I met Anastasia Petowska, who had another way of helping and educating people. And our interest in education and improvement of human conditions has led us to producing audiovisual courses and documentaries. And these are going to be useful and help people for a long time because they can be replayed and shared. And the more people that are affected by awareness, it will create a change, and that is a movement of consciousness. And more of us will speak our truths, and more that will lead us all towards more health and harmony. And we're all unique as individuals, and yet we have the identical needs to exist here. We find the same refuge in safety and health and happiness. And so whether it would be in your last hospice days or your first days of freedom from an abusive condition, your experience of your body and self-betterment can make all the difference in your life and improving your health and happiness. and giving everyone some extra opportunity in a fun learning situation was very important to her, and that became sort of what we did to have fun, was find places to teach and give people a good time. And that's what I believe our mission now in creating these documentaries is going to bring a lasting change in our community. And we hope that there are tools that keep getting used over and over again. I'm really honored to be here representing my family and this effort that involves everybody, because who doesn't want the place to be better and more people that have skills in relationships before they have problem relationships, the place would be happier. People can spend their time on their spiritual happiness instead of trying to use their mind and work out how did I end up being here. Well, we could maybe all learn lessons and not have those bad experiences. And I got off my track a little bit, but that's my introduction. I'm really pleased and I'm honored that you people came here. And for anyone of you know, I think working together is how we conquer a lot of the problems that we have right now. Disharmony. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David English, and Barbara Lee Foundation. I want to tell you a story of how I met Anastasia. Much like we have attendees via the internet, I met Anastasia online. We were in a course together on Zoom, and we were paired up for an exercise in a breakout room. She had this bright pink background with expose in large letters. It looked powerful and sounded kind of risky. Well, talking about abuse is both impressive and precarious. Anna and I did the exercises, and then I continued to see her in class and did more exercises with her over the months. At the end of the course, select students were asked to do a presentation on their packing projects. Anna did one on hers. I was doing the dishes with my laptop in front of me at my sink, and when she described her work to everyone, my jaw dropped. I'm lucky I didn't drop a glass. It was exactly what I needed. Her work was exactly what I needed. I needed a connection. I needed to be connected to people. I needed to be connected to people who understood what I went through. And Anna is so wonderful for bringing many people attention. Now, she's in the back right now, and we'll get to hear from her later. But those of you who are here in person are also welcome to stay after the premiere, because the event is not just about the film, it's about the focus groups that we have lined up for you. And this is a great opportunity to connect with individuals who've gone through similar experiences and who have learned how to heal, plus encourage themselves as well as others. Through sharing stories and experiences, we can inspire and uplift one another. We'll be healing to connect with individuals who truly understand the journey. Anastasia couldn't have said it any better herself. It's more fun being with others. Let's make the most of this moment and create meaningful connections that will last a lifetime. And now, the film.
Thank you.
Security took my life.
Sorry,
People
Nicole.
tried to kill me, and I survived. So he was even going to put me in a rage. Is it okay? I nearly took my life. People tried to kill me, and I survived. The queen of his world that made me feel special. I finally felt special, and I didn't look at it as being anything else but this person really really did it. You know, being born from your ashes and again and again. Nearly took my life. People tried to kill me, and I survived. Oh, he was even gonna throw me in a rage. Nearly took my life. People tried to kill me, and I survived. Queen of his world, so it made me feel special. I finally felt special, and I didn't look at it as being anything else but this person really loved me. I hated myself so much. Remember when we were dating, you wouldn't accept the word no. It, I would say no to things, and
Can
he
you
would
put the
always
volume
push
down a little bit?
past it, try and
The
convince me
volume?
otherwise,
Any volume?
pressure
They
me
said
to
it's
lie
gonna be like that.
against
She's asking.
until I did what he said. And at the time, it was first frustrating. So I didn't see any signs of abusive behavior at that.
teachers, they just told me this to basically just suck it up. And so I accepted that as my reality.
Hurting me in a way that I couldn't understand. Because he would then say that he loved me afterwards. So I got confused about what love was. Right. Couldn't understand how someone in one breath saying he loved me and then was doing what he was doing. Because I found out he was cheating on me. He was cheating on me. Yeah, Jane. If you're in a relationship that makes you constantly wonder, is he lying to me? That exhibits pain because of how the person touches you. If words used hurt your feelings, you don't have to defend yourself or those feelings that you have to anybody else. You just need to go, I'm so glad I'm feeling this way. This is my body telling me that this person isn't good for me. It was like my model. A woman takes shit from that because they're together.
Yeah, I mean, it's the gaslighting, okay? You have these moments when you're questioning your own sanity, you're questioning your own reality, and they're telling you that you made the mistake, even though it might even be a situation where I wrote it down. I entered a diary into my computer or something like that, and I knew exactly what had happened. And but no, I'm the one who was wrong. And then you feel so unsafe, so unsure in these moments. But funnily enough, because I haven't dealt with my childhood trauma, this fit into what my expectation of love and a relationship should somehow be.
Still love this person. So as crazy as it sounds, I still love him. I just want to be abused to stop.
I can remember telling people, gosh, it's crazy. We don't fight. We agree upon everything. He's always there. He's always around. And I think he was my first boyfriend as well. So I think I just craved that. And there's just, the attention and finally just kind of having somebody there all the time. And it was just great. And I didn't really question any red flags that may have come up because of that. It was just, I went with it and had a blast until, stuff started randomly popping up. I also
Remember when we were dating, he wouldn't accept the word no. It, I would say no to things, and he would always push past it, try and convince me otherwise, pressure me until I gave in or did what he wanted. And it's not.
Well, he's been saying the same thing for 3.5 years. Just give me a couple weeks, just give me a month. So I looked at him and I went, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. And that was the end. It wasn't good. I bounced to the next guy. And he was also abusive, but he ended up stalking. So that's what I get from my, taking my time, being single, finding myself, and making sure I didn't find anyone to talk. Yeah.
It was astronomical. I mean, he was telling me I was the most beautiful woman he had ever met. I had the best personality. I was successful. And he liked to compare me to his ex-wife. He loved that I had a career that I was excelling at. She hadn't worked in 15 years and just used it for money and blah, blah, blah. So it was always like, I like this about you because my ex never did that. And so it's that triangulation, compare. But I was the one on the pedestal. And so he kept telling me all that stuff, I'm like, okay, I never want to be that. I never want to be like her. I'm never going to do that to him. Just already like taking inventory in my head of what hurts him and makes him upset because of what he had done. And the funny thing is, all the things he claimed he had done, I would never do to a person I cared about anyway, because it was horrible. And I don't treat people that I love like that. And so it was like he played the victim so well. And being that I was raised mostly by a single mother and being a woman myself, nurturing life, I want to take care of this man. I want to show him what love is. I want to fix it, and he could pull advantage of that to the point where I started foregoing my hobbies. I going to dance class. I stopped seeing my friends because if I had plans and with him, then the guilt trip would start.
As far as why
You know, I just got like these all flowers. You know, I just wanted to be special. Is that right? I didn't know it was there. So I confronted him about, you know, you're seeing this person, they're leaving, it's over, and he took that baseball bat out. He went to, you know, he went to swing it at me. I don't know how, but it missed. So, and he was continually swinging this at me, and I had run to the back of the house. Everything was premeditated. He knew what he was going to do because he had also locked the back door, so I couldn't get out. But I got to the back door, the key wasn't there, and a voice said to me, "The key is above on the ledge." So you know, this is my angel, whatever, protecting me. I grabbed the key and I got out, and I started screaming for the neighbours to help, you know, because I had neighbours at both sides. That scared him. And he got in the car, he took our daughter, she was 4 years old at the time, and he left. When he'd gone, I went back into the house, I called the police, I called my mum and dad. This was the first time I had told my mum and dad about anything that was going on. And then I called the police and they came.
My life started to be like more alive. There was no my life anymore, which at first was exciting, and then it became scary because I was like, oh, I don't necessarily want to sleep over tonight. I didn't know that I had to have dinner with you every night, and you know, there was this sort of if I am not with you, I will die, and that was not a romantic phrase anymore. It was a literal like bullying tactic of I literally cannot live without you. And so that was at first this like, they really love me, like I'm essential to their life, which then morphed into if I don't show up for this person, their life is at stake. And so all of a sudden, instead of love being in my heart, there was blood on my hands.
And he's accordingly very strong in that space. I love you. The first date for all this jewelry on the counter, and he told me, he goes, pick something, pick a necklace, pick whatever you want. So I look at everything, and I can't. Well, it's just crying to me.
There was a lot of holding the carrot up, like promises of the future of things and then never delivering. And the big one obviously was the blaming, the full on, like, it's all you. You know, I'm a great human being, I'm wonderful, and you are a traumatized little child that you need to go heal yourself. And that's where I definitely abandoned myself because it was very apparent. Like my insides were telling me that's not true. That's not true. But I continued to do that. There were women around him. There was messages that I had seen, and that whole thing was like just really felt so awful to me. And I would have conversations, but he would deny everything and just tell me that I was insecure.
First, he yelled at me in bed that it didn't happen.
while it was still happening. While he had the knife in his hand, he said he didn't do what he doing right in front of me. And then he said it was a joke.
Out of the drama and violence of my marriage. And it was always, Judd, go to your room. If we could take my son's name out. It was always, son, go to your room. It was always, hey, you need to go play outside, because I knew that something was coming. And we don't realize just how intuitive and how present our children can be, even when they're not. And it's hard. It's hard on them. And I would say it's almost harder on them than it is on us.
When he was having a rage, I would always say to him, I see your heart. I see you. And I was thinking I was seeing you as the person that you've just described, that person that I met. But actually, the person that he was showing me was him. But I've switched the characters round to give, say, Jekyll and Hyde. I was kind of giving Hyde excuses, and Jekyll, was the person he was. But, ultimately, it's probably the other way around.
At that point, I didn't know who all he had set me up for. I didn't know. I was afraid to eat or drink anything in my house. I was afraid to eat or drink anything he gave me. I wasn't sure. I ended up in the hospital. My heart ended up stopped beating for 21 seconds.
Way that they're presenting themselves is very different than who they truly are, because their true colors don't show right away. It's a facade. So a lot of the things that they're telling you and that they're promising you are not true. And in fact, there were things that I remember my parents doing and saying to me as a child. There was a similar pattern there as well, because my parents, they would make promises that they wouldn't keep. They would say things to me and then say other things that totally contradicted what they initially said. So there's kind of a similar pattern there as well in choosing these relationships, because again, you're choosing what's familiar to you. And so we lack some of the discernment in whether or not this person is really telling us the truth. And the things that they're saying are all positive and things that we want to believe in, that we hope to be true of this person. And so those are all things that you're initially attracted to, is the familiar traits and the hope that this person is who they say they are.
Alright. I'm excited. Did you get the ring?
I got the package.
I have chosen to never speak ill of my ex-husband, and I have chosen to try to be strong for my kids and want them to draw their own conclusions on what they know about their father.
Just got you a ring. How'd you like it?
Either gonna kill me in a rage, and or else something was gonna happen where I was protecting myself and something would happen to him. And even when he was asking me, like I was shocked that he was, with that spirit and voice inside me was like, no, no, no. And I said yes. Because I was in the woods alone with him. I didn't know what he would do if I said no. You know, we're by the river. My body could go for be thrown in the river. Nobody see me.
You lost it. Hello? You lost it, didn't you? You didn't. Say something. Hello? Can you not hear me? You didn't.
Saying everyone needs to save the world. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying everyone with a purpose on this planet because you just don't know what people have gone through in this life to live, to stay alive, to breathe, to not cry, to hide their laughter because someone else doesn't want them to laugh. So when someone says, oh, well, blah, blah, blah has happened to me, immediately take a breath and say, and what will become of me after my interaction with you?
Because someone else out there is living our life. Someone else out there is living the life that all of these survivors and thrivers have escaped. Right here, right now. You can pick up any newspaper. You can go online to any news outlet, and you'll hear about mostly women, some men, but mostly women who are killed by their boyfriends, who are killed by the children of their father. You hear it all the time. And so there's someone out there right now that is living your survivor story. And when you start speaking, you give that person hope. So suddenly, with the hope, they start to have this idea of choice. And that is really possible. That's where you can really help someone you can create great impact in that person's life, and if they stay on the path, they can then in turn create great impact in their life. They can end generations of trauma. They can end generations of codependency, generations of women and men picking the wrong partners and staying and not understanding what's going on. And I think that is so encouraging, and that's why you do what you do, because you want to encourage people to awaken and to take ownership over their life in a powerful way and to tell their story.
Far more than viewers. It's not release this to nothing problems like advantages. Instance for shality requires genuine actions, therefore it's clear perspectives upon. Understand the impact of and healthy relationships can be a powerful catalyst for change by recognizing what love is not. Individuals can strive for healthy relationships that fosters appreciation, trust, and freedom of being one's authentic self. Love should transform lives positively, inspire growth, resilience, and the pursuit of genuine happiness.
And I'm back again on the street.
Days before I flew out here, I went to MAC Makeup to get some new mascara, and the lady at the counter was like, "Oh, how about this one?" She told me it was waterproof. And I don't wear waterproof. And then I spent a second, I'm like, wait a second, I might need to get that one. So I got it, and I hope it's hold up. I would like to introduce to you Anna. Anastasia is a mastermind in the world of filmmaking, using her artistic talents to elevate discussions on important social issues and to give voices to those who have been silenced for far too long. Anna inspires me with her vulnerability and confidence and her ability to make one feel welcome and loved and safe. Everyone, as we draw near to the end of this powerful event, it is my honor to introduce you to the extraordinary individual whose creative vision and unwavering dedication to giving voice to survivors, experts, and thrivers have brought us this remarkable documentary. And please join me here and online in welcoming Anastasia. Media and production.
I want to give some applause to Grace. Your mom really meant it when she gave you this name. Grace. Well, thank you all for coming. And especially those John, Matt, Ginger, Crystal, Des, who are watching, Amber, who are watching online. Thank you so much from my heart. Also, it's actually today is the first time I'm seeing this version because we had some technical issue coming up. But I want to thank Marcus for exporting it in a little less resolution, as you saw, because we had some technical issue with the computers. But just to be honest, that you never can have everything in control. Thank you for coming here and for believing that it is just your love and the people who are watching. Also, thank you, Amber and Kasia Urbaniak, for support, and all the women around the world, and the women before us who came to change and create a new system. So the women who will come after us, they don't need to suffer alone. Can I get this one? Yes. Yes. And men as well. And we had David, the founder of Barbali, and few beautiful men here in this place. I want to celebrate you as well. This is only the very first one out of 12. So if you haven't seen your story, Don't be disappointed. Don't message me. Where is my story? Mm. And my father, my dad, he's not with us here. He's somewhere in the energy. He and his love for me gave me strength to be here today. And somewhere as a children, we don't know about the world, like about all the realities. So we blame ourselves for being the reason of things happening around us. And that's what happened to me. I blame myself for being the reason of my dad's death. And I felt like, my dad took his life. And it's me. There's something inherently wrong with me. And I had to please others to be, to exist. And in romantic relationships, I would not leave because of I was driven by that need to prove them that I was good enough because I knew I wasn't for my dad. So I would look for that happy end. That if they stay, it's like saving my dad. At this time, they are not going to leave me. And many of you might relate with that. In 2018, December 6th, it's where I walk out from that apartment in Barcelona. I didn't look back. And there is this moment in my life when before I flew to LA, I was looking at the ocean and feeling, can I let go? Can I really make this documentary? Because I had this idea back then through the universe that if I can only find people who've been through what I've been through, and if they are smiling, and if they can wake up and find a meaning for life, then I'm going to do all what's in my strength to find them. And I found all those 88 individuals. And I want to celebrate them and give some applause. They're right now watching. You all are amazing, and I will spend like hour reading all your names. We put them also in the acknowledgements, and I can't wait to show all of their stories in the next documentary. And also, remember there is also a book and an oil for expose. You can pick your copy, and you will get a special discount for the next premiere, for the upcoming like $10 discount. And I just at the end, last very story before the focus group. I was 13 years old, sitting in my room, and I grew up in Poland with my brother who had some mental issues like bipolar disorder. So he was many times aggressive, and then I would run out, lock myself in the room, and wait for my mom, and she comes back from many jobs. And one of those moments, I was feeling so alone. It felt like I was the only one person who was there. And then I had this huge teddy bear, bigger than me. I took that teddy bear and I was just crying and hugging, and the teddy bear was wet, my face was red. In one moment, I felt there was grace in that room. Grace, literally. I felt like somebody else was also there. Maybe it was that my dad, that energy of love. And I welcomed that. I said, if you exist, change my life. And I welcome that energy of universe, of love. And it gave me more strength to just be here and be able to share. Because the feeling I had was I wasn't alone. That's what I experienced. And that's the exposure, the connection between you and others. That you, whatever you're going through, you are never alone. You're never alone. And that's what I want the world to know. And I want to celebrate all of you for coming, because there's so many places you could be, but you chose to be here. And if there, I know there are no more people, but there is this 88 people. You can imagine their faces on the sides. And yes, and I feel honored to be standing with all of them. And before I finish, the last thing I want you to remember is that what I learned in my journey and listening the story of those 88 individuals is that for many people, success means being able to have a child, or go for holidays, or being in a relationship, get engaged, get married. But what I found to be true is that success also means being able to walk away from relationships which no longer serve us. And that takes not only strength, but also the community. And that's why we gather today online and in person, saying hello to people watching online. I see you. And yes, the focus group. So I would like to ask you, how many of you felt any connection between the stories in the documentary and what's really happening in the topic of abusive relationships? And if anybody wants to talk, we have a mic available. Or you can stand by me. Stand by me. I love it. We got it. The mic. Okay.
Check. How y'all doing? Yeah, I grew up with a mom that was in a lot of abusive relationships, and we all had to experience that as children. So that's really hard, and um, trying not to replicate it later has always been really hard for a lot of people, because you feel like with your dad, that was very powerful. I felt when she was saying that.